Hi, my name's Monique and I am the Senior Consent Peer Educator at Lakeshore Campus. And today we're going to be getting up close and personal, and we're going to be talking about consent and how to build healthy relationships around it, because consent can be fun and I'm going to show you how to make it that way. Tip number 1 is setting boundaries. And what this means is diving deep into yourself and figuring out what you like, what you don't like, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, all this great stuff that makes you you. You have to figure that out, and then you have to be clear and concise with your partner or your potential partner about what that is. And also, you shouldn't set somebody else's boundaries for you. If your friend is okay with having casual hookups between friends, that's all good and dandy for your friend, but if that's not something you're okay with, then that's perfectly fine too. So I have some gummies here. What we're gonna do is show you an example of how friends with benefits can set some boundaries. So they get all cute and kissy. Somebody gets a little handsy, starts going a little deep into the dive. You could be like, no, look, I'm okay with kissing and with touching, but I don't want to go any further than that if we're not together. And hopefully they're respectful and they're just like, yeah, totally, I'm down with that. And then you get back to business. Tip number 2, healthy communication. Communication is so important in all realms of life, but especially when it comes to getting consent or giving consent. Healthy communication is just making sure that you, after you've figured out what your boundaries are, that you are conveying those boundaries to whoever they need to be conveyed to. And remember that you can change your mind at any point. When it comes to consent, it is fluid. There's no timeline for it. You could give it and you could take it at any point, just as long as you're communicating that, whether verbally or through body language. Both is definitely preferred. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're being timid or where somebody's not being 100% about how they feel about what you're doing in terms of sexual activity, because this leaves room for gray area. And with consent, there's none of that. There's no gray areas. It's yes or it's no. It's black or it's white. So the example, drama human. So the example that we have for this one is somebody who's in a long-term relationship. So like we said, consent is fluid and can be taken away at any time. It doesn't matter what the circumstance is. So these two have been together for a very long time and they're just hanging out, and one person starts to get a little handsy, but the other person's like, no, I'm not feeling this tonight. Tonight I just want to cuddle and go to sleep. And hopefully that person, again, is respectful and says, yes, babe, I agree with you. Let's go to bed. And they just fall asleep together in each other's arms in their perfect little fairy tale. Tip number 3, body language. Body language is very important to pay attention to. So imagine being at a party and somebody you were really trying to talk to is not being engaging at all to anything that you're saying or anything that you're doing. This is a good example of how to recognize when somebody's body language is not feeling yours. Woo! This is like the greatest party ever. Isn't this like the greatest party you've ever been to? Yeah. Yeah, woo! So who'd you come with? Are you here by yourself? No. So tip number 4, you want more? Checking in. That's what tip number 4 is. Making sure that you are checking in and you're still being forthcoming about if you still want to give that person consent, but also if that person still wants to give you consent. Using language like, can I? Do you mind if I? Do you like when I? Do you want me to? It can all be fun and it can all be sexy. It just depends on how you go about it.
And tip number 5, educate yourself and your friends. In March 2015, we at Humber took a stand against sexual violence and released the sexual assault and sexual violence policy. Since then, a lot of effort has been made to increase awareness and support. Humber College and the University of Guelph Humber aims to promote a campus culture of consent, compassion, and respect. You can find all the details about our policy, how to get support, and how to get involved over at www.humber.ca/sexualassault. If you are experiencing or have witnessed sexual violence, please talk to someone. We have student support and intervention coordinators on campus. You can reach them at sicsupport@humber.ca, or you can also call them for support. We'll leave all that information down below for your convenience.
Thank you all for tuning in. Educating yourself on consent is so important. You're doing it right now, so guess what? That also means it's easy. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you around. You did amazing. You were so good in that Netflix and chill one. You, girl, you killed it at that party. You ignore people like a pro. They were great. So great.
Standing ovation. That was awesome.